Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today's lecture is concerned with the development of a creative strategy, a creative advertising strategy, which could move people or motivate people to buy a product or get emotionally attached to such a product. The purpose of a creative strategy is to inspire great ideas. In other words, to encourage advertisers to develop innovative ideas, ideas which could attract people and could help advertisers make great advertisements that their effects can last for a long period of time. Usually, creative plans involve four major elements: the creative target audience, creative objectives, strategy, and tactics. In this lecture, we are going to focus on every step in some detail. Regarding the creative target audience, those who write the creative ad, those who write the idea, who direct the idea of the advertisement. Such creatives or artists or writers or advertisers, they should, when creating a specific advertisement, they should build some sort of an interpersonal bond between the brand and the customer, so that artists or writers put in mind that customers are those who could be very strongly related, such as your uncle, your brother, your sister, your friend, or whatever. In this sense, advertisers or artists or writers should develop the idea as if they are talking, as if the brand talks to someone who is close. In other words, the advertisement should be interpersonal, should be close enough to the person's, to the customer's mind and soul. The more interpersonal, the more the interpersonal dimension of the creative is built, the more the advertisement is close, more persuasive to the customers. The second element is the creative objectives. Creative objectives, in other words, the mental effect. What does the idea, what do we need? What does the company need from the idea? What do we want from our customers? What kind of behavior does the advertisement aim to achieve? Okay, in this sense, creative objectives represent the mental effect that the writer or artist is trying to achieve. The effect, the impact. Okay, what do you want to make? What impact do you want to achieve? What is your advertisement objective? What do you want your customers to do? Okay, in this sense, artists and writers should think thoroughly about this point to inspire behavior creatively. The third element of a creative plan is the creative strategy. The creative strategy consists of the guidelines, the thoughts, the feelings, the impressions that the advertisement should do in order to communicate with customers. In other words, the creative strategy is concerned with the feelings, the impressions, the thoughts that the advertisements should convey or deliver to target customers. Of course, the impressions and feelings, those impressions, feelings, and thoughts are guidelines which help artists develop advertisements. In other words, advertisers should think of the type, the nature of the feelings, the emotions they want to deliver. What kind of emotions do they want to deliver, and how are they going to deliver such emotions and thoughts? It is very important to think about this point during the creative strategy phase. Usually there are three elements that should be part of every creative strategy. When designing a creative strategy, advertisers should think of three major aspects: the strategic focal point, the positioning statement, and the big unifying idea. Let's talk about every one in some detail. The strategic focal point is the particular aspect of the company's problem, the point of focus. What do you want to talk about in the advertisement? What is your advertisement going to talk about? What is the main subject? What is the core idea? Are you talking about a specific opportunity? Are you talking about a specific innovative problem solution that your brand offers? What is the focal point? النقطة الرئيسية. What is the main idea you are talking about? To be sure all artists concentrate on the same strategy, it is helpful to state the creative focus clearly. In other words, advertisers, the advertising company or the client should be clear about the focal point it wants to advertise. It is very important for the company to communicate with the advertising company, the advertising consultancy. It is very important to communicate the focal point. What do you want to advertise? What is the idea? What are you talking about? What is the specific aspect that you want to communicate with customers about? It's very important to determine this point. After determining the focal point, the advertising company, in collaboration with the client, should determine the way the company should distinguish its brand or product from competition. How are we going to position our brand in comparison to rivals? Okay, يبقى هنا in the first step when designing a creative strategy, the company should be clear about the idea it wants to deliver to customers or communicate with customers. After being clear about the idea, the company in collaboration with the advertising agency should think carefully about the way the brand should be distinguished from other competitors. Positioning or differentiation is a key element in creative strategy. After all, we are making advancements to distinguish our product from those of rivals. One key aspect of differentiation is to think about the way we can distinguish this point. Big unifying idea. By big unifying idea, we mean that the idea which artists use should be a vehicle that provides a common bond to unify all ads within a campaign. In other words, if a company plans to make a big advertising campaign, then the big advertising campaign should depend on a single idea, a common idea. If the company chooses to use different types of advertisements in different medium of communication such as TVs, radios and newspapers, these different types of advertisements should be clustered upon one common idea. The fourth aspect of a creative plan is the creative tactics. Once the strategy has been developed, it must be executed in a detailed way to get the most out of it. After all, the ultimate or the most fundamental objective of advertisement is to create advertisements that help sell the product. Thank you very much.